Scott's Geography Notebook. Do you want to try saying it?
Da, da, da.
Let's talk about the rock creation processes. Now, this is pretty commonly known as the rock cycle. And the idea is that you've got A, B, and C different types of rocks, and then you'll have one go to the next, and then to the next. And it does look like a cycle, but I don't really like this idea because any type of rock can become another kind of rock. And so honestly, I like to look at those rock creating processes. And although it is commonly known as the rock cycle, I prefer to think of it more as like a rock recycling program. Just because it's going to be using one type of rock and making any other different type of rock. So let's take a look at what we have. We're going to begin with our pre-existing rock material. And with that pre-existing rock material, that is going to be going through 3 different steps in order to make a new type of rock. All right, so let's go through these guys. So the first one that I want to talk about is sedimentary rock. All right. What's going to happen to this pre-existing rock material is it's going to go through erosion and transportation and deposition. All right. Meaning that the big rock is going to be broken apart. Rock broken. It's probably going to be moved somewhere. This is probably most commonly done in rivers and streams. Moved somewhere. And then it's going to be laid down in layers. All right, so we have this process going on of erosion. The pre-existing rock material will be eroded, and then it will be transported somewhere else, and then it will be laid down. And the big thing that we will often see is either a lot of different mixes, or a lot of times these will be into particular layers. Okay. Then the last thing that we need is we're going to have a lot of different layers of sand or of gravel or of rock or of silt. And then we need a cementation process. The material is cemented together. Right. Now, this process can be physical. It can just be the pressure and time that's starting to do that. Sometimes we're going to have different types of chemicals. Salts, for example, can start to get mixed in with those, and that's going to be causing that. So that's going to be our last process that we go through. The material gets cemented together. This is all going to be for our sediment or sedimentary rocks. Okay, now, any pre-existing rock material can be exposed to extreme heat, and usually that's going to be happening deeper down. So the other process that we can start to see is leading us to our igneous rock. So what we're going to do is we're going to take any type of rock material, we're going to force it deeper into the earth, and that material then is going to melt, right, to liquid rock. And then somewhere, somehow in the surface of the earth, usually it's going to be forced to come a little bit higher, that material then is going to re-solidify. Okay, and those are going to be our processes that we go through for what we call our igneous rock. Okay. Now we're going to be seeing this solidification happening a few different places. Let's put igneous. For our igneous rock, the pre-existing rock material is forced to go down deeper. It melts to a liquid, and then that liquid is cooled to re-solidify. Now, that re-solidifying can happen on the surface, or it can happen deeper down in the earth. If we call it, if it happened out on the surface, we call that an extrusive igneous rock. If it happens inside the earth, then it is intrusive. Okay, so extrusive would be on the surface. Right, so a lava flow comes out, the lava is oozing and goozing around, and it's going to be cooling relatively quickly. This is going to be a quick cool and solidification. The intrusive, this is going to be happening below the surface. And that typically isn't going to be in a really cold area. So when our intrusive igneous rocks are forming, that's going to be a much slower cooling process. Okay? With that slowing cooler process, oftentimes we're going to start to see crystals forming. So a crystalline formation. Okay, quartz is one type of crystal. You can see granite is probably of igneous rock. The Sierras are made up of it. If you take a look at this gray and black flecky looking rock, what you will see is that there are going to be a number of different crystalline formations that we see. Okay, now, again, let's go back. We can have sedimentary rocks. The material gets eroded off of the big rock. It gets transported to somewhere else, usually, and then deposited, oftentimes, into layers. Then that material gets cemented together. Then that same rock or any other type of rock, it could be forced deeper down into the earth. It melts to liquid. Then it's cooled to really re-solidify. It's either going to be an intrusive or extrusive igneous rock. Now, what happens if a rock is sent deeper down and exposed to extreme heat and pressure, but not to melting? So extreme heat and pressure. But what's important to remember is that we're not melting here. So extreme heat and pressure, and what that's actually going to do is start to change the form of the rock. It leads to a changed form. And that changed form has a lot easier, well, maybe not, but it does have another name for a changed form rock. We call that a metamorphic rock. So a metamorphic rock is going to be another example of that. Diamonds, for example, are a metamorphic rock. Marble is a metamorphic rock. It was a pre-existing rock. Could be sedimentary, could be igneous. It was exposed to really high heat, but not quite to the point of melting, and we have changed form. It doesn't mean that these guys go in a sequential sequence, and that's why I don't like the term rock cycle. It's sort of this rock forming process for sedimentary rocks, for igneous rocks, or for metamorphic rocks.